I got my hands on this Dewbauchee Exemplar, which is now a limited time vehicle. So let's get into the review and let's see if it's worth it or not to collect. Off with the customization here. You unfortunately do not get any cosmetic upgrades, but even though that really sucks, it would have been nice to have a different bumper option, something closer to the real car, and for the back as well, something to kind of cover up that cutout right there. But just like the real car, you're not really supposed to customize it. You're supposed to get it from the factory as is. But here you have your usual expensive, upgrades here for the engine and the brakes and all that. You have your typical xenons here, but I feel like it's too blue, so let's just leave it off. And for the plate, I really don't have anything special, so yeah. And for the color, I feel like doing something dark, a nice dark blue, something classy. Of course, this is what this car is all about, class. So let's do that. Something nice and dark. Let's see, let's scroll past all these fun colors. These greens look very nice, especially the racing green. Spectacular. But let's see, I feel like the galaxy blue looks good. The midnight blue is a good contender, but I feel like it's too dark. Um, this is pretty nice too, but it's really all up to you. Let's see. Alright, so I might either go for galaxy blue or midnight. You can't really tell much because it's just dark, and the lighting in here is awful. So for now, let's just go for a galaxy blue. And for the suspension, you can get this pretty low, as I'll demonstrate here. Check that out. So let's just do the competition. I feel like it's too high. Of course, let's get a racing transmission all the way. And a turbo. For the wheels, to be honest with you, I really didn't think this through. I feel like the stock wheels look good enough. However, uh, I feel like there's plenty of good wheels that look excellent on this car. It's really just up to personal preference and what you like. Uh, but since we do have a good selection here to play with, I'm personally not sure what looks best on this. I usually always look at reference pictures to get as close as possible to the actual car. However, I kind of didn't this time since the wheels are different for this car. The Ice Storm, these are decent. I'm just not a fan of the bolts, right there, or whatever you call that. Modern Mesh looks good too. This, not so much for the Forge Star on this. Let's see what else we got. The True Fate Concaves, those look pretty nice. I don't know if I should go with it or not. I feel like it's too concaved for my liking. Uh, but again, since this is a limited time car and, I'm just customizing it, the purpose of my video is also to, kind of give you ideas of what you want to do with your builds. So when I, customize these cars, it's not just for me, it's for you guys too, to kind of inspire you a bit. So the high fives, I kind of do like these too. Uh, and I apologize for taking a little too long with the selection here. I really should have gone back to look at a reference picture. But let's just go for the high fives. Let's go for that. Let's leave it in alloy. It looks good in black too and other darker colors. In stone. But let's leave it in alloy. You could do your typical tire design if you so wish. But for a classic car like this, I prefer to just leave it off. Of course, you got your usual bulletproof tires. I'm forced to put this on, since I always play in public sessions or lobbies all the time. All that's left for me to do is put on the window tint. Of course, as standard practice, I always show you, the levels and how they look on this car on each vehicle. I personally recommend the light smoke and the dark smoke, but it's all up to you. So I'm just gonna put on a light. So that it looks like that's pretty much all. I'm gonna get out of the garage and then I'm gonna give you a closer look on the details and then discuss the performance. So I'll catch you in a second. Alright, so the detail and customization is surprisingly good. Although the texture quality could be better, I feel like the detail's pretty good here, as you can see. I mean, you could understand what you're looking at here, right? It's an engine, it's supposed to be a V8, apparently. But of course, the texture quality does leave a lot to be desired. It's just uh, weird 2D qualities and a mix of 3D with uh, low resolution textures. But again, this vehicle has been in the game since 2013, so you could kind of forgive that. Especially if you played on old gen, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But for the headlights, these are very well done actually. I love that carbon detail in there and the headlight housing. The bumper here, it's decent. It's good that it's, not a flat texture. So at least there's something there, right? A bit of a vent, an entrance. But just look at the whole car in its flesh. Just look at this. I feel like it has a lot of potential. The interior, this has been seen before. Um, the textures here, these are shared with other vehicles such as Obey 9F. However, this does have extra seats back here, which are horrible. They don't look very comfortable. You don't want to sit back here. But I feel like this car has a lot of potential. I don't want to hate on it too much since, it is a bit outdated. But it does have some details and, as I said, potential. And the trunk quality here is abysmal. But again, this is from 13 years ago at this point. So, hopefully Rockstar comes back and improves some of these details. And by Rockstar, I mean the developers. They have shown us a lot of potential in what they could do with these cars and the whole game in general. But anyway, with all that rambling said, I'm gonna get straight into the performance. So just give me a sec and I'll teleport from here. Alright, now for the part that we've all been waiting for, the performance. It does feel a little bit, it does feel a little bit more heavy, of course, heavier than the Rapide GT, which is a two-door variant of this car. And it's okay. I mean, it's supposed to be an executive sedan with very elegant and sharp design. However, once it gets to a top speed, it does do a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say it's still competitive, but again, it's a very nice option if you want to just drive around to your businesses or drive around the map and kind of dislocate a while or just daydream as you drive around with your music selection. This is still a pretty good car for that. And what I recommended, well, it's up to you. You can get it for $240,000, which in this economy is a steal. But anyway, that's all I got to say. And as always, have a good day.